Good morning, class, or afternoon or night. This is going to be my managerial accounting trends project on data science, and my name is Gustavo Rivas. So, what is data science? You might ask yourself. So, data science is the use of scientific methods, algorithms, AI, and it just helps us get a deeper understanding of what large amounts of data in a business can have. I'm going to say in a business because this is a business class, so sometimes I'm going to refer to data science in a business. So it helps us analyze big amounts of data, which can be very helpful for big corporations like Amazon, Walmart. They just have so much information, it's hard to analyze it. So they might hire a group of people to, or they do have a group of people, that are hired that are data scientists or, if not accountants, maybe finance people that are trained in that area or region, and that helps them analyze certain books, financial decisions, helps them planning, it helps them in many different ways. So basically, it helps analyze large amounts of data into knowledge and eventually help the business make a decision or, not make a decision. Um, so again, I think it's data science is just huge and it's used everywhere, everywhere. It's actually incredible of, you know, where data science is used. Um, and yeah. So, what areas of business can data science use, or which areas of business is it used? So, I feel like there's three main key ones from that I found at least, and one of them was in finance. So, in finance, especially with banks and different loans and agreements, they could use data and see like, hey, is this a good loan for you? Is this a good loan to give out? You know, you could also run a simulation on like how much return you're going to get and the long-term growth on certain investments as well. In my case here, I put down the example of, data analyzation of transactions in your bank account that banks like Wells Fargo, Chase, credit unions, any bank uses. And it can detect whether your card is stolen and make sure to keep their money, especially if it's a credit card, safe and your account information as well. And they could use data science to detect that, which is really cool. Marketing, I feel like now with technology, everything's just changed, of course, and marketing has been greatly affected due to that factor. Back then it used to be TVs, now it's really just TikTok, Instagram, just everything's online. So it has helped with surveys and using data from their surveys to know what you want. And not only that, but what you search up, what you use, it's going to show them what you might be interested in. So it helps a business, get a good idea of maybe what the consumer may want with products and stuff. So using all these algorithms, it just helps big companies and corporations know what maybe the consumer might want. And the third area was business analytics. So again, like I stated earlier, data science is key within business analytics, and it could help companies make decisions and run simulations and see what decisions might be best for them. Obviously, it can be very broad, and it really is because multiple different businesses can use it. Let's say, like, I work at a retail store right now, and we can use data science in order to see what sold last year or the past couple of years or past 20 years, let's say, right? But I'm going to say five. What sold in the past 5 years that are seasonal items, and which should we order? Which had the most success? And using this data science and analyzing it and using it to see, okay, the different trends between these seasonal items, we can see what sold the most and what we should order again in order to not waste our money. Because if it doesn't sell after that seasonal period, let's say like summer, Easter items and stuff like that, I mean, we have to clearance it, and that's a loss for the company. The different ways of using it. And I think it's really cool. And what brought data science into business? So I truly honestly believe, I just think is the times, the advancements in technology we've had, in the past decade or so has brought this use of data science in our day-to-day lives because, like I stated before, it's really something that is used everywhere. And I don't think we really realize it. Like the use of algorithms and AI. AI is being so strong right now, and people are scared of it as they could lose their jobs. Um, all these different softwares, improvements on technology had just played their part in um, the introduction of things like data science to our world. And in this case, of course, business. The integration of data science in the business world has led to the huge change in jobs, and what the jobs entail in business. Like, for example, in accounting or finance, a lot of it is now on the computer, and not a lot of people are used to that. So it has created a lot of, people staying in the past and not being able to move forward sometimes. So it can become a conflict for most individuals that aren't as tech savvy as obviously younger generations or people that are in the loop, let's say. Because people, let's say accounting, it was just a book, hand and pencil, writing them down, reporting the things, and now everything's on the computer. Now we can analyze that data on the computer, and not a lot of people know how to do that. So that is one unfortunate downside of data science. But it helps cover more ground, and in the end, I feel like it helps make better financial decisions as a business, wherever you're working for, whether it's a small or big corporation. It helps you analyze those trends and see what could work for you and what cannot. Obviously, this is all a simulation. It's not, in the real world situation, it could go a different way. We don't know. Um, but again, data science is almost everywhere. Social media, your GPS on Google Maps or maps on Apple or iPhone, data science is used in order to give you the quickest route to get to your destination. And I think that's just phenomenal. I personally didn't like think about it like that. And when, I was, researching and looking up into it, I thought it was phenomenal. Yeah, it's something so simple, obviously. But for me, I was like, what? Like, that's crazy, And it just tries to find that perfect, quickest route for you using data science and different trips that people have used with GPS on their phones or, their car or anything. And it's truly remarkable. So what technique or method does data science replace? So I feel like it's really replacing, the human analyzation of certain things. Obviously, with data science, we still have to analyze the data, but it makes it a lot smoother and quicker. Like with simulations and stuff like that, it'd be really hard to simulate that. You have to do tests. But now with computer and data science, it's a lot easier to see what could happen, what could not happen. So in reality, I don't believe it's replacing anything, but more enhancing um, enhancing our methods in our business, which could lead a reduction in labor and help us focus our workload in somewhere else that could bring productivity to the business. So it's it can enhance multiple businesses, like I said, big and small, and data can help us by running simulations, like I said, comparing our records from the past, like my example with the retail store that I work at. And, you know, it definitely can make something that would have been very time consuming and make it less time consuming or take even less time, as we get adjusted to it. It could also, data science can also help us track manufacturing. Let's say you work in a plant, let's say Procter and Gamble, that's where my dad worked at, and they're noticing that there's some issues with someone working on a machine and the machine manufacturing that paper roll or whatever it is, right? So if it's noticing that trend that something's not working, it can actually see that trend and be like, hey, you guys are dropping productivity because of Z reason, but this machine isn't. So maybe calibrate the machine or get someone else to work on that machine in order to increase productivity and obviously money, right? Um, and it'll give you that. It'll give you those recommendations. Will give you those trends in productivity and tell you what you can do to improve, which is really, really, I think, phenomenal. Um, and the way I look at data science, at least right now, is that I think it's the key or foundation of making financial decisions and business decisions in general. So it's pretty broad, but I mean, I feel like when you're utilizing it to its full potential, you can truly make important decisions that could benefit your company greatly. And it can be a huge help, especially if you're a small business or maybe even a bigger business and you're moving up the food chain, using that, analyzing all that data, it's not easy, for sure. And, using this can help you out most definitely. So, I mean, you go back to this, what companies are using data science? I feel like almost every company, marketing companies, anything. The two I used were, or that I thought about were Google and Banks, as I had mentioned Banks before. Google is one of the most popular search engines. If you haven't heard of Google, I don't know what to tell you, but they use data science in order to try to satisfy the consumer or the person that's searching something in their search engine as best as possible. They do this by using your search history, your past search history, and seeing trends, using that data and seeing trends and trying to predict what your search will be. Like, you put how do I, and then you see the little options below. It tries to predict what you might Google to make it as easy and convenient, and you Google more stuff, and use their product more. They also use your history data to improve your search results. So if you were scrolling around, search something and it didn't work out, it'll notice that and say, okay, this person spent this amount of time at this website, it didn't work out for them, and it'll give you better recommendations. And they also use this to show you advertisements on certain products that you may be interested in. So if you're searching any headphones, watches, anything, it doesn't matter what it is, it'll see that trend and be like, okay, this guy could be a potential customer for these products. Let's see, and show him these recommendations, advertisements, see if he buys in, things like that. It's used in Google. It's used everywhere. I feel like, it's crazy. Banks, I said previously that it is used to detect whether fraud is being um, happening in your account. Someone takes your info, and let's say you make a purchase in Florida and you live here in Oxnard or, Ventura, Camarillo, somewhere locally. It'll notice that and then it'll stop it. Another way it does use it is like, let's say Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay also encrypts. So you could use data science to encrypt certain numbers and personal information that's important. Um, and it'll use that to obviously not make it so that anything happens to your information, or it isn't stolen, and it makes it encrypted. And lastly, I just want to say thank you guys for listening. This is my presentation on data science in the Managerial Accounting Trends project, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.